So maybe it's a bit of a hot take, but I'd rather be happy with a two pack than hating my life with a six pack. So pretty much every single Friday night now, I will go to Yochi, which if you're not from Australia, it's a frozen yogurt place where you can like add pick and mix kind of sweets. I think you guys even call them something different here in Australia. Like pick and mix is scoop and whey over here. Scoop and whey. Pick and mix is a UK term for sweets, lollies, again, as you guys call them. And yeah, it's my little routine, it's my little bit of flexibility that I allow myself to have every Friday consistently. And old me, one, would have felt so much guilt about that. Two, would have probably binged and spiraled out of control because he'd allowed himself to have a little treat. So that means that, boom, the whole night's ruined and he has to eat 4,000 calories as a result. But new me, new George, that's older and more mature and has a grip on his eating relationships and behaviors with food, sees that as balance. And that's because his goals aren't to just be super shredded anymore. Like that is not just his only goal in life. His goal is to have a healthy relationship with food, to be in physical shape. Like I'm in good physical shape, you know? Do I have a six pack and am I as shredded to the bone as like most other fitness coaches? No, but that's because I don't really want to. And I also hated life when I did. Like I've got to this point before. Like I've had, the eight pack and just like the incredibly low body fat and veins everywhere. But I did that through hours of Stairmaster, counting every single calorie, lean meats and vegetables all day, no drinking, no alcohol, no social events at all, no eating out. And that isn't sustainable. Like that's not fun. That's like bodybuilder prep. All for what? Like just a physique for the summer that who am I going to impress? A few other boys because I've got a girlfriend. Like, what am I trying to do that for? What does that actually serve me? And the opening line that I made, happiness with a two pack, sadness with a six pack, and that kind of, I'd rather one than the other. That gets compared a lot to you could say that's very similar to, that whole I'd rather be crying in a Lambo than broke in a Ford. And I've heard that term, and I disagree with that entirely. Like I would rather be broke and happy in a Ford than crying in a Lambo every single day. And I can now apply that not just to health and fitness, but also business, but also money, because I'm not a millionaire or anything like that, but my coaching business does do very well. I'm successful. I'm a successful dude for my age, and I think I've got a very fruitful kind of earnings potential for the next 5, 10 years. And why I'm saying all of this is because I'm now getting to this point where I'm not having a Lambo, but I'm getting to this point where I've sacrificed social connection, friends for business opportunity, for money. And I've now kind of grasped that, the high amounts of income per month. But as a result, I've got no one to really share it with. Like I think it's fair to say that I'm at a very weird point in my mid 20s where, and yes, I've moved to a completely new country, right? I'm trying to, make a social group over here, but I've been here 2 years, and you know, I probably got this many friends. I'd say no one that's deep and true and like I could have as my best man on my wedding day, for example, whenever that may be. But surface level, friends, and maybe I'm just being hard on myself. Maybe that's kind of expected, but in my opinion, this that trade off isn't worth it. Like if I could go back and I could just try to have this identity and this mindset of someone that yes performs well in their career in their chosen industry, but still makes a lot of time for social activities and will make sure that business never creeps into that they never have to say no to social because of business, then I would 100% trade that 100% every single day. But unfortunately, I haven't been that person, and I really struggle to be that person as well. And so where I'm at now is, you know, here is kind of social, life and happiness, and here is business and performance. And I don't really I'd rather this, to be honest. I'd rather, these be here rather than this. And I see weight loss, I see, fitness, I see health as the exact same thing. And I know this is something that I can fix because I have fixed my relationship with food. I have fixed my relationship with my body. Sure, it took a long time. It took like 10 years for me to do that, but I have. And just like we've kind of made fitness this whole thing, which is like it's all about how you look and not really about how you feel in your head and in your body as well. Like, you could have a six pack, you could look really fit, but if you aren't training cardio, for example, you couldn't even go on a 5K run. Or maybe, the way that you've been eating, for example, you can't even have a shit because you've been having no fiber in your diet. Or maybe your heart is just completely ruined because all you're having is just really stodgy meats, for example. Like it's such a broad spectrum. There's so many facets that do go into this. And I think that can be really applied to, again, where I'm at right now, which is that kind of business and that friend, that social kind of that balance. But this video isn't necessarily about that. It's more about that kind of that relationship between health and kind of look. And I think so many more people, more than ever, are consistently trading that look over that feel. And I would disagree. Like, I would 100% disagree. I would say it's more important to feel at one in your body, to feel healthy, to like go on a walk, go on a run, and feel strong rather than look a certain way. Because at the end of the day, if you have that image, that's great, that's one thing. But if there's nothing behind that, then what's the point?